change it in a nick of time. Even if you decide to leave the stars behind. You say one word, I say amazing. You say one word, I say amazing.
Testing, 1, 2. So I was inspired by Alan Paco just a few minutes ago, as he was showing, some maps, and he was showing some human parts, like the body, intestines, and biology. And keep in mind, I don't know much about that stuff. I'm literally like a baby coming into this. That's why if you were there, you could tell that I was very interested. Because it is interesting, to say the least. But yeah, these are the maps that I have. I don't have very many. And I figured, you know what? Why not start fresh? To see where I'm at. Who knows? In a few more years, maybe it would be a lot more advanced. But just with my first initial thoughts, and when I see it with a fresh eye, when Alan Paco said this red thing right here, when he said this could be, the red part of the eye, it made me think. And then I told him, look at the 4 winds. Are these the 4 winds that they talk about in Ezekiel? Yeah, late show. I didn't plan it or anything, man. Just decided to hop on. Well, welcome, Maggie. Day of the Inhumane. Don't even remember following this channel, but this is amazing because I've been hardcore researching this topic lately. Really? Yeah, I'm quite interested, man. And if you guys have some info, and you guys are willing to be friendly, and share some info, feel free. Even if you got some links to share, and you can direct me to those links. Good to have you with us, Eric and Lindsay Ball. But yeah, I feel like Alan is onto something, and I feel like he's been doing this for quite some time, and I'm not gonna lie, when I first stepped foot into these doors, I thought the same thing he did. As wild as it sounds, as crazy as it sounds, I literally believed that, it's like a body. We're living on a body. But that's just a thought, I don't have any confirmation, I can't say that that's a fact, But it does make it for a very interesting video. Especially if you're willing to fellowship, and learn with each other. I try my best to go through all the comments and answer every question, or just read it, you know. Yo, bud, that's a map of West America. The Gulf of California is called the Red Sea on old maps. Grave Eye. The map is upside down. Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So it's supposed to be like this? Jerusalem is the Grand Canyon. Yeah, I've heard that before too. And I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it indeed is, you know? But I've got this one. Let me go back. This was one Founded Earth Brothers. You guys know who Founded Earth Brothers? Basically, Flat Earth Brothers. This is a map that he shared. Kind of blurry, but basically he was saying this map is pretty it's a pretty good map to have. Then I got this one, this little illustration here. Beyond the Wall. This one's very interesting too. Because some people believe that this is us right in the center. And then you got your ice wall. And then beyond the ice wall, you have these outer lands. And then beyond that, you have another wall. I would assume it's another ice wall. And then more lands. But we can't say that, we can't confirm that this is accurate. I'm pretty sure that map can be looked at from the way he had it, and also turned the other way as well. Awesome. America is the promised land. Good thought, Eric. I think Satan has us arguing on which one is right, America or the Middle East, when neither is right. It's hilarious. I feel the same way. I can care less where this promised land is. If it ain't heaven, or if it ain't paradise, or if it ain't where the Father is, then I can care less. Of course, the septentrionalium, is that how you pronounce it? Septentrionalium. Not quite sure how to pronounce that, but this is the one with the North Pole. This is where Santa Claus and his elves. Yeah. This is where they are. They are getting the gifts ready for Christmas, guys. So you better what's that song? You better not pout. You better not cry. I'm telling you why. Because Santa Claus is coming to town. Yeah. Superman, this is where Superman is at too. And what do you call it? The Krypton? The Kryptonite. Yeah, that's why the Northern Lights, the aurora borealis. You know, that's why it's green. You know, it's so green like that because, of course, the kryptonite, guys. That's why it's green, because the kryptonite. I don't want Satan Claus. You good devil. Right. Yes, Chris. You and I both. But yeah, I always wanted to see a real footage, a real photograph, like a sky view of this area in real life. But we'll never find it, right? Nobody has it. All we have are illustrations of maps, and so many different maps, right? Makes you wonder if there's so many different maps and so many different orientations and patterns of these thousands and thousands of maps. Makes you wonder, right? It can almost get overwhelming, to be honest. See, you got this one right here, the Nova Orbis Tabula Burgundy Ducas. Yeah. This is the one that was on that show, that movie, Truman Show. It's on quite a bit of movies, but if you look at it in a different way, don't look at it for what it is. You gotta look at this one, be like, hold up. Okay. I think I see. That's how you gotta look at it. By the way, this one is from 1694. And then you got, this one's pretty much the same. Forgot where I got this one from, but again, you've got the four rivers where the sweet water, the sweet drinkable water, and then of course you got the, look at this guy, Divergent. I unsubscribed from him because he had too many inappropriate thumbnails. I figured it wasn't good for my eyes, so I unsubscribed. You got some pretty good content though, besides the thumbnails. But anyways, this map here is the moon map, right? The one that is from, what's it called? Cosmic? Forget what it's called. Let me just double check. Make sure. Unless you guys know. Do you guys know what YouTube channel that guy's from? His Fortress of Solitude, interesting name for a comic book character's home base, right? What the mountains are missing is where Gog and Magog poured out of the north. They would have first hit England, known as the Viking invasion of England. Europe is the promised land. Explain, Eric. Gog and Magog haven't happened yet unless they have done something before back on the Armageddon. I couldn't handle Divergent after a while. Too blasphemous. Yes, indeed. For sure. There might some truth to this moon map. Yeah, that could very well be. I wouldn't be surprised. There might, or Gog and Magog ended The millennial reigned 500 years ago, according to my findings. Interesting. Would love to hear more about that. Vibes of Cosmos. There you go. Thank you for that, Glyph. Appreciate the information. But yes, Vibes of Cosmos. See, you got the Hyperborea right in the center right there. You guys can see that. Vikings or Vikings. Right. I see you. QB. Welcome, QB. Hyperborea. 4 corners. Yes. So what about these outer lands? Like, how you think there could be some truth? I don't want to keep showing Divergent's face before I get copyrighted. Can you get copyrighted flagged by showing other YouTubers' face? I was just kidding, by the way. I know you can't get copyrighted for that, but I thought it would be funny. This would be very interesting, though, if this is the case. You know, because you got Hyperborea, the North Pole, right in the middle. Terra Vista. Australia is right here. I'm not too sure about this moon map, but like you said, there could very well be some truths, some hidden truths within this map. Of course, you got this one from your typical Gleason's flat Earth map. There's an app, the Flat Earth app, with the geocentric map. And I did this. I was just showing one of my followers where the moon was and where I was, exactly where I am. So that the red is where I am, and the moon was right there on that very day. And it's crazy because I looked outside the window and it was exactly right, you know? The moon was exactly where this app was saying it was. But, you know, I know it's going off with the coordinates of the, you know, they know how to calculate those things, even on a heliocentric model. And then you got this. I don't know, I showed some people this, and when I showed them, they laugh. You know, like, are you kidding me, Tala? Seriously, man? I'm like, yeah, I'm dead serious. You know? The square and stationary Earth. It's amazing, guys. But yeah, those are all the maps that I have. I know there's a lot more maps on where is it at? I don't know why I don't bookmark it. I seriously don't know why I don't bookmark it. Why? Or maybe I did. Yes, I did. See, so this is the famous Tartaria. You know, really high quality map here. And I remember in my older video, I was mentioning these red marks, you know? And to this day, nobody knows what these red marks are for, but it's marking cathedrals. Every red mark is on a cathedral, just to let you know. It's not marking anything else but, cathedral type buildings. See that? You got this guy. I don't know, looks like he's doing the hula dance. Must be Hawaiian. See, you got more down here. Red marked cathedrals. And I remember someone in the comments said, maybe it's the marking of the lamb, the blood of the lamb, during the time of Moses. Splitting of the Red Sea. Remember when God told him to put blood on the doors? So, credit to that person who put that together. When did they burn all their shields and bodies, bury the bones? Ezekiel is a story of the Americas and the Indians. Therein, from my perspective, there is at least 7 years after Gog and Magog before Book of Life judgment. I don't know, says Eric. It was 500 years ago. You find evidence somewhere for 500? I find evidence for 7 years after Gog and Magog in Ezekiel. 7 years until what? But yeah, folks, that's one map right here. A lot of interesting stuff. So you even got some cathedrals in the ocean. You see that? And this is Canaan. But then these cathedrals are in the ocean. They're in the water. Why is it in the water? You see, you've got the water coming out of this landmass. Coming out of the landmass. You see? So if there's indeed cathedrals in the water, reminds me of something, doesn't it? Doesn't it remind you of something? It reminds me of Atlantis. Could this be? Could this very well be the underground city? The city under the water, marked in red. Very interesting indeed. And then as you come out here, you've got another one. You see? Perhaps this is Patmos, where John was, Elder John. Zaingia, Quilin Fu, Sakrat. But yeah, I thought that was interesting too, these cathedrals in the water. Here, here. Must be depicting something very real, You gotta look in the details. What kind of bird is this? Anybody know what kind of bird this is? I've never seen a bird that looks like that. I can't read this. Let's see if we find any more cathedrals in the water. Nope. See, you've got this water bank here, but you've got no cathedral. What about here? Nope. All these cathedrals. I'm telling you, it's almost as if these are energy centers. You know, like the, what's it called? The kind of reminds me of cell phone towers, you know? Like cell phone towers. They're like everywhere, right? It's almost like this. You've got all these cathedrals. Why would you have this many cathedrals run about in a row consecutively? See? Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All in a row. And I think they got names for it. Achich, Saint Maria, Saint Tran, Saint or Sarah, Sabra, Kadabra. I don't know. But that's quite a bit cathedrals if you ask me. Camp of the Saints is with beloved city, Gog and Magog. Surround these and fire rains down, just trying to find the evidence for 500 years after Gog and Magog. Is it scriptural evidence? Question. Yeah, Valley of Dry Bones, resurrection from Ezekiel 37. What about it? What about it? What about these cathedrals? What about there are so many, one after another? It's almost as if they are like energy centers. There's so many. This is what makes it seem like it is indeed energy centers. Oh, I think we found another one in the water. Nope, not in the water. Oh, we got one right here. The ones I showed you before are probably the only ones in the water. Yes, so it's only these ones in the water. Like Atlantis. Very interesting. We go across here. I'm sorry. My legs are hurting, so I have to give it a stretch. Come down here. Nope. There's nothing there. And you got the big fish. You got the big fish right there. Very interesting. So this is one of the maps that looks like Matt G and Eric is having at it. They're having at it. They're having a go at it. Alright, let's look at another map. What does it say here? So it says here, important map of Asia and North America included in the world's first modern atlas. Have a great rest, Brother Eric. Nice example of Ortelius' map of Tartary. The only word you'll find in the Bible with Tartary or Tartarus is Hades. You know, in other words, hell or the abyss. You know? But I believe there's only one passage with the word Tartarus, and that is in, let me make sure before I've got it saved. Yes, it's in 2 Peter. 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 4. So if we go there, 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 4. It says, for if God spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment. You see, now that's what the King James Version says, but if we put it side by side with the, I believe it's the Young's Literal. So if we put it side by side, and what do we have here? We have the word Tartarus. Well, what do you know here? So this is Tartarus. If you guys know any other passage with the word Tartarus or Tartar, please let me know. So yeah, looks like this could possibly be something of a 2 Peter. 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 4. So let's look at some other maps. We'll go, I wonder if I can just go to the next. Oh, you got some maps down here. Anyways, yeah. So I was looking at the maps and I started looking at the human eye. And indeed, the human eye looks like Earth, you know? It looks like it could possibly be Hyperborea. We got the pupil right here. And then you've got the firmament. You see the firmament? Right there. And you wonder why the middle of it is just black. That's one thing the majority of us all have in common. We have black pupils. And that just depends if you're blind or whatever. So yeah, just looking at that, and very interesting how each person has their own unique eyes. Out of 7 billion people, right? Check this out. Out of 7 billion people, or let's just say everyone on Earth, every single person is unique to their own eyeball. Isn't that amazing? Every person is unique to their own eyeball. I mean, look at this eyeball. That looks quite creepy, if you ask me. My goodness. My. Whoa, see his... I don't know if this is a he or she, but you've got the red. You might have smoked some weed. I think he smoked a Pakalolo. You know, the weed, the ganja. You know? I think he smoked that before he took this picture. Because look at his picture. His eyes are red. Or maybe he just has red eyes. So, I could be wrong. I could be wrong about a lot. So, be careful. That is a very interesting eye, for sure. That is amazing. It looks like a wormhole, you know? You ever seen that movie where, I forget what it, the Tremors, and they have their own wormhole? Wow. That is amazing. Whoa. That is quite amazing. The human eye is very, very interesting, if you ask me. And if we look at the human lung, or the stomach, this is the human stomach. Wow. You see, this is where we eat our food. We eat our food, like we eat the cheeseburger, and it comes down into the stomach. And then you know the rest. But here's the lung, the human lung. And I always thought the human lungs, they remind me of the Lichtenberg. You know, the Lichtenberg, not burger, but the Lichtenberg figures. And the tree looks like the tree. You see? Like the Lichtenberg figures. And the tree. It's amazing. I am the vine, and you are the branches. These are the words that Jesus said. And then you've got the human heart. So, Alan Paco, he was showing me some images earlier. And I was entertained. Hello, welcome. But when he was showing me those stones, it for sure looked like some hearts. Human heart, or it could Could be a pig's heart, because here's a pig's heart. They're not too far from a human heart. This pig heart. Very interesting. And it looks almost like a heart that we draw. You know? Compared to the human heart. If you look at the human heart, see? Look at that. They're pumping it artificially. Wow. Another one right there. Yeah, the stone that he was showing looked just like a heart. I wonder what would happen if I type in yeah, you're not gonna get anything with that. But it's interesting, right, when the Bible says, I will give you a heart of flesh. You know, I will turn your heart of stone into a heart of flesh. You wonder why he said that? Because in my understanding, it's because that person was prideful, correct? Am I wrong? Or could it be both? Could it indeed be both? That man was prideful and his heart was literally stone. So, it's quite interesting if you ask me. But the pig's lungs look almost similar too. Wow. That is a pig's lung. Another pig lung. I know there's some people out there in third world countries, in very primitive areas, in villages, they eat this. They eat this and they believe that you have better breathing. You know? Almost like you are what you eat type of deal. You know what I mean? Yes, Tartarus is not a place for the righteous, as it states here in 2 Peter. For if God messengers whose sin did not spare, but with chains of thick gloom, having cast them down to Tartarus, did deliver them to judgment, having been reserved. So yes, it's not a good place to be. But I can't say that it's a place of, fire. I know the rich man said, can you dip your finger in some, can you tell Lazarus to dip his finger in water? And that makes it seem like it's really hot, But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's fire. You're welcome, Maggie. For sure. This is the only place I can find the word Tartarus. I don't know where else to find it. But if you know any other verse or scripture that has the word Tartarus in it, please do share. But yeah, this is the pig's lung compared to the human lung. That's the human lung, the Lichtenberg figures. Right there. And if you don't know what a Lichtenberg figure is, Lichtenberg figures. So this is what Lichtenberg figures are. They're like that. See? And people make art. They make art out of it. And not just that, if you look at some of my previous videos, you can go to the Google Earth if you have an internet connection and a laptop or a smartphone. You can do this yourself. Just go to Google Earth and I will show you something. So, Lichtenberg figures. So like, you can see I'm right here. You know? And this is, where is this at? Uzengili. So this is by where the so-called Noah's Ark. So this is where they say Noah's Ark landed. Okay? Where is it at? This is the visiting center. And this is it right here. So this is where they say Noah's Ark landed. So if we take a look at the measurements, when we'll use feet, from one end to another, it's about 500 feet. Okay? So, just thought you should know. Anyway, Lichtenberg figures. By the way, this is by the Mount. I'm not sure if this is the same Mount Ararat, because that's where the Bible says Noah's Ark had landed on Mount Ararat. But, you know, they can switch things up in today's age. They can switch many things up, so I'm not sure if this is the Mount Ararat that was indeed in the Bible. Anyways, so I was showing you Lichtenberg figures. So Lichtenberg figures are something like this. You know? It's might have to do with the glittering sword. The glittering sword that Matt G loves to talk about. So yeah, anyway. So that's the human lung. This is the human heart, but that's the human lung, pig's lung. There's quite a bit of a difference there. The pig's lung almost looks like a heart. Yeah, it looks like a heart. And then if you look at the human lung, like, it looks a little bit more symmetrical. Or maybe that's because these are just graphical illustrations of a lung. We can get an actual image of one. Oh, right here. So yeah, they look quite a bit similar. And the reason why I'm comparing it to pigs is because I guess scientifically it is proven that pigs' DNA and humans, like the pigmentation in the skin, in the hair, especially the eyes. So if you look at the pig's eye, check out the pig's eye. It's almost as if you're staring at your worst nightmare. You know? It's almost as if I'm staring across the table, getting ready to arm wrestle my opponent. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like a human eye. That's quite creepy. You see that? You see, you've got the brown eyes, the hazel. You've got the albino. And then you've got the unfortunate. But yeah, the pig's eye. Pig's eye. And then you've got the human eye. I would have to say the human eye is quite a bit more beautiful, if you ask me, more appealing, rather than the pig's eye. The pig's eye looks kind of scary, and I know a few people who eat pig's eye. Well, Tartarus ain't exactly a place, okay. Now I really don't understand, Emma, where was the raining of fire down on Gog and Magog? If it happened in lockdown, God save the camp of the saints. Matt G, it doesn't say in the Bible that we would see the fire from God. Uh-oh. But yeah, so you got the pig's eye. Looks really human, if you ask me. See, if you look at a guinea pig's eye, it looks like a guinea pig's eye, you know? It just looks like a guinea pig, you know? When you look at the if you look at the pig's eye, it looks almost like a human eye. It's quite creepy. Mine Unveiled did a video, and he was making some interesting theories, saying that perhaps these used to be people, perhaps the Nephilim. I don't know. I mean, Jesus did cast the demons, the legions. He casted them into pigs. But of course, those pigs jumped off the cliff and died. So, there you have that. But yeah, if you look at the pig's eye, and let's just look at the dog's eye. So this is a dog's eye. So I would say dogs. Yeah, dogs and pigs. Dogs and pigs' eye. Almost look human. I mean, they always call it hot dog, you know? Dog cam. There's gotta be a significance to dogs and how it's reversed God, you know? So, definitely interesting in my opinion. Now this is just gross. Eating pig stomach. Imagine that. It's one thing to eat pork, but to eat pork stomach? I don't know. I believe this was food for the slaves. No offense. This is what they fed the slaves in those times. Chitlins, bacon, and bacon is so popular in America, and you wonder why. See, this is pig stomach. It's when you don't have the money for food, you eat chitlins. No offense, but it's not good. It's not good for you. Anyways, how long has it been? Just under an hour. If you guys want this link here. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I could show the comments. So let's go through the comments. About it. Try reading it again. Matt G says, why are you talking funny? Man, I was talking like that for a while. I don't know, I just couldn't help it, I like that accent. I wish I could really talk like that. The Tartary maps could be enlightenment maps. Satan released. Interesting thought. That could very well be. World Tartars ain't exactly a place for good guys. Yep, it's not. Ooh. Let's look it up. Who is Tartarus? For in the Greek myth, a place of waiting, limbo, or like hell. So I'll even looked it up in the Bible. Nice one. You're welcome. Now I really don't understand, Emma. Where was the raining of fire down on Gog and Magog? If it happened in lockdown, God saved the camp of the saints. Matthew. It doesn't say, okay, we went through that. Okay. I need more than that. Alright. Okay. Alright. I think that was all the comments. We are just under 1 hour, so appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll definitely talk more about this for sure, but until then, you guys be safe out there and be blessed. Until next time.
You say one word, I say amazing. You say one word, I say amazing.